What's up, YouTube? This is Iron Lung, and this is my first ever Fallout 4 settlement video. Yeah. Alright. And well, before I begin, I just want to explain something. I started playing this game when it first came out. I played it for a few months, close to a year, really. And I stopped playing it for a year. And before I stopped playing it, I didn't really mess with the settlement builds that much. I only did enough to get by. I was playing the Minutemen story, and I didn't devote enough time to the settlements to really, spruce them up. I just built some shacks and some beds and some food and a few defenses, and that was good enough. That was good enough for me, just so I can keep playing the story. It wasn't until I was getting back into the game when a friend of mine, she has a YouTube channel of her own, Amanda the Brit. Check her out. She has some really awesome videos. Subscribe, please, help her out. It wasn't until she showed me one of her videos where she had done a Fallout 4 settlement video for Sanctuary Hills, and that video was awesome. Like that settlement is still, it's one of my favorites that I've ever seen. And it inspired me to get into the whole settlement building portion of the game, and so I got into it. I started tinkering around with it. I was trying to make my own little super awesome Sanctuary Hills, and that was just a long build. I was on that for a while, and I still haven't finished it. I mean, I haven't even touched it. I'm actually going to undo everything I've done there and just start fresh. But before I do, I will end up making a video showing all of you guys what I did, because my idea, the idea of what I wanted to do there, it was a lot of potential to make it something like huge, epic. But I've since decided not to go that route. But anyways, I started tinkering with the settlement building aspect of it, and I would play some of the story, get some loot, get some money, go to a trader, trade for settlement supplies, go to a settlement, build it up until I ran out of supplies, and just rinse and repeat. And I started watching videos from guys, settlement build videos from other people. Two guys in particular, No Respawns and Oxhorn. Those guys are awesome. Check out their videos if you haven't already. Shout out to you guys. Y'all were huge inspiration for me. You gave me a lot of ideas. Really sparked my creativity in my settlement builds. Just thank you guys. And y'all taught me a lot about how to utilize the tools to make what you want to make. So great guys, check them out. Anyways, so I didn't mess with any mods. I used the vanilla game, no mods. I just recently turned on mods. So you'll see a couple of things in this settlement where you'll be like, yeah, he's got mods on, but everything in this build was built with no mods. Everything. The only thing you're going to see in this settlement is where the electric wiring sways in the wind, and where turrets don't need electrical connections to be activated. So without further ado, this is my first settlement build to show to you guys. It is Tempines Bluff. I made it to be a Minutemen Outpost. Like I said, well, I don't know if I did or not, but I played the Minutemen story, and so I was thinking about this in terms of if I wanted this to be a outpost where when I do builds, I want to try and make it realistic, and I'm putting myself in the situation where, like, okay, well, how do I want this to be? How do I want to build it to make it look realistic, to where, if people were living here, how would they build it? And how would they do things to where it'll make things practical for them, easy and just livable, like it was an actual real world location. You know, if the world had actually gone to shit and, excuse my language, actually gone to had actually been messed up, and the apocalypse would happen, nuclear apocalypse would happen, and people started rebuilding in a chunky kind of way like this is. So, because I was doing a Minutemen story, I was thinking, well, you know, it'd be cool to make this a Minutemen outpost where they had like a quick reaction force, QRF. They could react to threats within their area, raiders, super mutants, whatever, and they could actually be a halfway point for traders, provisioners, and could protect provisioners and traders if they needed to on their routes and within this outpost area of control. So that's what I had in mind when I built this. And one of the first things I built here, actually, I'm going to show you the walls first. The walls were actually the last thing I built, and I've come to realize that if you're going to do a walled settlement, you actually want to build the walls first. And if you don't want to build the walls first, don't build the outlying buildings first. Build the buildings that you know are going to be on the inside of the settlement, then build the walls, and build your buildings within that area, within the walls. So these are the walls I built, and I use the rug glitch, where respawn, no respawn does this. Where I will put down like a building wall, like one of these walls, or like I like using warehouse and barn walls especially because they're a little higher, and you'll drop down 2 to 3 rugs stacked on each other, and then put down a concrete wall which looks like a pillar, and put it close enough to those rugs, and throw a junk fence on top of the rugs, and do the select all trick on the concrete pillar. It selects the concrete pillar and the first and the bottom 2 rugs, and you're able to move all of everything, including the junk fence, so you can blend that junk fence into the wall. So that's how I have, in certain areas, I have the junk fence blended into the wall, into a like right here, for example, it's blended in to where there's a warehouse wall right there, and I blended this one in between 2 walls and whatnot. And right here, instead of just building a standard wall on this portion of the settlement, I wanted to build that, where I used those floors with the support beams underneath them like that. And you'll see here in a minute why. That was one of the first things I built, and this was too. This little tower right here. I already built stuff in the settlement, and so I basically decided to redo it. And so I deleted everything and I restarted. I just rebooted the whole freaking thing. So I built this portion of wall right here like this, and as you can see, I put down the flooring right here, so I could have it look kind of realistic with my gate, where it's not. As you can see, the doors aren't like just going inside the ground. And you'll see in a lot of my settlements I use a lot of these kind of lights. I don't use a lot of electrical lights, because if you're not careful, you use a bunch of electric lights in the settlement, it'll slow down the FPS drastically, the frame rate. But I built these flooring here, and I put out those little end caps for wood buildings right off of them. So you have something like this, where you got walls, but then you have these openings in the walls where you can put down these little guard posts right here. And you can have your Minutemen looking out over the hill, and it's really good defensive position. as you can see. This shack and that shack were the last two things I built here. I needed 2 more rooms for beds. I don't like to build one big room usually and just put a bunch of beds in it. I know some people like to do that, but I'm not one of those people. I like to try and keep it, and like I said, I try and keep it as realistic as possible. And in a realistic situation, in a real life situation, people aren't gonna, not everybody's gonna want to sleep in the same room together. It's just, that ain't gonna happen. So that's why I like to build as many separate buildings, shacks as I can for people. So we go around here, another guard outpost, a little bit of decoration. You'll see I haven't done a whole lot of decoration in the settlement. I will in the future. But anyways, that's the original shack there. Come up here. Dude's asleep. Little room right here. Up in here, a little room. Now up here, my tower.
Ain't looking for trouble, I hope.
I hope you ain't looking for trouble. How about you get out of my way? Move. Try and show off my settlement. Get out of my way. Alright, cool. So I got a little guard spot right here. Some people come in the gate. Guard can check them out. They try and get froggy. Guard can take them out. Come up here.
Whole place is run by robots.
Oh no, you should check it out, cause see, I improved it drastically. You'll really like what I did to that place. So, the top of this watchtower, as you can see, got little guard spots on all 4 sides, and it's awesome for the east and south of this settlement, where you can look out all the way down the hill. And if anybody comes up to that point right there, from there all the way to there, they're gonna get jacked up on this side, and from here all the way to here, they would get messed up. I mean, in a real world situation, this is a very advantageous point. Any enemy that tried to attack this place from these 2 sides are pretty much committing suicide without any kind of heavy backup or support, or without enough numbers. And of course, the watchtower put all kinds of little amenities up here, some furniture, little weight bench. Soldiers like to stay fit, so looks cool. Looks cool. And once again, I didn't put a whole lot of electrical lights in here. I put a lantern in here, one little light there, just enough.
My back hurts, my feet hurt, everything hurts.
Dude, we're all hurting. Just deal with it. Alright, that's the watchtower.
The farm's not much.
Like I said, I like to keep things real. So when I'm thinking about a real world situation, people are going up and down this hill all the time to get to their houses up here, or to the water pump building right here. You're gonna wear into the ground, starts to rains a few times, you're gonna wear it away, and you just have a big muddy portion of the hill, people sliding around, getting all messed up and stuff. It's just not practical. So I figured, these settlers will want to build some steps. So I put in these little floors right here and sunk them in with the concrete pillars, as I like to call it, and made steps coming up. And right here underneath this shack, I put down some flooring and a little chill spot for anybody. They come in, or some traveler comes in, they can just chill right here, relax for a minute, hang out, talk to the locals. And got this little building right here. Put down a little grill right there for the dude. Whoever's living in here, they can just go right outside and cook some rad roach. Put a little room right here. Drop down one of those scavenger stations, so whoever I've got in the settlement that isn't doing anything, Well, that'll put them to work. So like I said, I recently added mods, which is allowing me to do things I wasn't able to do before. Unfortunately, I can't scrap these freaking bushes. Some bushes I can, but these I can't, unfortunately. And I built on top of this water pump shack right here. Little scavenging station. Just have someone working in here where it's like someone's actually taking care of the water pump and whatnot. That's why I put it there. On top of it, I threw down some scaffolding and put a couple of shacks here. One here. One here. Before I put the mods, one of the mods I put in expanded the buildable area of a settlement. Some of these settlements are small, so you can't think outward. You gotta think upward. You can only build out to a point because you're limited by your space. So you gotta start building upward. And so that's what I like to do. And that's how I have buildings like these two, where you're stacking buildings on top of buildings. You know, it looks cool. I think it looks cool. I like it. So I got that shack. I got this shack right here. That little touch that I like. I put in these wooden railings here and treat them like a retaining wall for this little portion of the ground right here. And I threw this in because, of course, this part of the ground dips like this, and I put these little floors down with these steps to make something people can walk across. And of course, that shack's still there. And I dropped down this floor here, dropped down this floor right here, put a step down right here so people can step down to here if they want. Look out from here, see what's going on. And someone's living area right here. Go up these stairs. Another living space here. I'm gonna decorate these rooms eventually. Not right now though. But when I do, after I get done with decorating it, we'll show you guys what I've done. A couple of farmers tending to the crops, keep these soldiers fed. Now before I had these mods, you know, there's all kinds of just shrubbery in this little spot right here. And with these mods I was able to get rid of the shrubs. And which is, when they were there, that was the reason why I put this platform down. Because, you know, before in the vanilla game, you can't get rid of that stuff. You can't get rid of all those bushes and whatnot. So I put this down to where I don't have to walk through all those bushes and stuff, and the settlers won't have to either. They can just walk up here over all that junk. And I decided to keep it after I got rid of all the bushes because it just looks cool. I like it. It fits. Got a little general store here. Little campfire next to it. People can sit down, cook some food, hang out, burn barrel right here. People can keep warm. Go up in here.
Got work to do. Can't talk now.
Okay. And of course, this was the tow-up building I was here before, and I learned how to build into buildings like this from No Respawn. He has a couple of videos where he shows you how to do it. And I use the glitches available to where I fit the walls into that little existing building like that. And you have to build flooring. You have to build the flooring in order to accomplish. You have to put in the flooring to fit it, because, you know, this little shack, this little building, it was, you know, the length was 3 normal floors long by 1.5 floorings wide, and you build that out, and you put the walls up from that. And what I did here, I put in those little caps like that, and then you build the whole thing, and then you glitch it into this space until, of course, the whole thing turns green and you can place it. And that's how, if you can understand what I'm saying right now, I'm trying to explain it. Just check out, if you don't understand it, just check out No Respawn, man. His videos show you how to do something like this, because you see where the original building was, because that's all that was there. That wall was all that was there, or a portion of it. But anyways, moving on. Got this little house right here. Come up in here. Something simple. Come across this walkway right here. And you got this little outpost right here. I like to do the roof for my well, not outpost, but little guard tower. I like to do those roofs for them like that. That's a pretty good spot. You got a nice wide view of people coming in from all around here. You take them out if they try and mess with you. Come on down. Come across this walkway. A little cow pen with a Brahmin. With a little bathtub. And where the settler can come in, activate his water pump, and put some water in the bathtub. Keep that Brahmin watered. And he's got plenty of grass to eat. And this is my little generator shack. Let's close that door. And I built a conduit. I used the conduit to put the generators in. Put it into the wall like that. And run all the generators to it. And from that point, it goes out, and I can run the wires out. The conduit, when they added the conduit on the, I forget which expansion, which DLC was added the conduit, but that conduit did just, man, it opened so many doors. It really did. That was a great thing to add to the settlement building. But anyways, I digress. I got a little shack right here, a little two-story one. The bottom floor is for a couple of people to sleep in, and the top story,
Need to get back to
the
Diamond
top
City
of
these
it,
days. Biggest town I ever saw.
is a bar called the Windmill. You got a windmill right on top of it. And I'll be decorating this eventually. I'm proud of it. It looks pretty cool. I used the rug glitch to blend these countertops together, and then blend them into the bar stand right there. Well, yeah. And this is one spot where I wasn't conservative with my lights. I mean, every Minuteman outpost has got to have a bar, man. I mean, soldiers got to drink, and soldiers need supplies. So you got a little general store. The Cliffside Trader is what I called it. So yeah, another little generator up there too. No Respawn's like putting those windmill generators on top of his houses. He does it a lot. I'll do it every once in a while because it looks cool, man. It does look cool. It adds to the authentic look of the settlement, where you know, you'd be like, man, this looks like this was already made in the game. This looks like something the people that made Fallout, the designers actually, the game designers actually made. But you know, this is my settlement. This is my Tempines Bluff Minutemen Outpost. Yep, that's that. Well, anyways, guys, that was my first ever Fallout 4 settlement video, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all like what y'all see. If y'all did, hit that like button. If you like the content I'm bringing to you, subscribe. And if you have anything you want to say, you know, feel free to comment in the comment section. You know, if you like the video, let me know. If you don't, let me know, and let me know your reasons why. You know, that's something I just don't understand about this game. Settlers always popping up on top of buildings. Man, get down from up there, man. You're crazy. But anyways, you know, if you have any suggestions, let me know. Any tips, any advice, anything. Feel free to leave it in the comment section, guys. And once again, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I will see you fellas later. Peace out.